So integrating time, the theme I got from your university, so I was like perplexed because I thought I'll talk something on the cloud DevOps stuff that I've been on, but I thought I'll try to give some other insights which history books won't tell you. So you can see that one temple here, which I chose for my landing page, the Kailasa temple, which is in Ellora caves. If you have been there, you will know it. If not, I'll tell at the end why I chose this one. So, what's this? So this is your theme, right? So no matter where you have taken birth in your entire life, it may be US, it may be Middle East, it may be India, there are some set of rules and regulations that are hardwired into every caste system, every religion. So what is right for you, that is completely wrong from someone else. For example, take Hinduism. There is no word for leftover to be very perfect. So if someone eats something and he leaves, or if he or she leaves something, the other person cannot eat. It's a sin in Hinduism. But if you take Islam, everybody should eat in the same plate. They said that grows love. So you cannot say that it is wrong or it is right from your perspective. See, if you see this, a guy sees 6, at the same time, the second guy sees as 9. So both are correct in the same way, but that's the only difference is you are unable to see from his view, right? So this is one more example. How perception divides people and makes a mess the world what you see now. People fight on religions, people fight on regions, and we fight on everything that can possibly you can think of. So here is an elephant. If I blindfold people and I make them touch different parts of elephant, one will think it's a snake just by holding its tusk, right? And holding his tusk, he'll see it's a spear, and holding his ears, he will feel that it's a fan. If he hits his stomach, he'll see it's a wall. So the perception in which you have been brought up will defy things for you. And we Indians, usually right from like thousands of years, we debate on each and everything. You don't even believe when the God comes and says that I'm God. Even in Oh My God movie, you might also, everybody will ask many questions. So let's go through few thousand years back in time and see whether these customs really make any sense for us, or like it's just some foolishness that has been passed to us right from the day which humans existed in this world. So there are so many civilizations in the world that came, but history book says that about Chinese, Xia dynasty, Olmec, Macedonian, Greek, Mayan, Egyptian. There are many, many civilizations that came and they went, and these are great civilizations. But we Indians are the only living civilization in the world, and that is a reason to celebrate. But our history books never say that. So I think it's wiped out, but okay. There are many, many interesting facts about India which you can just Google it and you'll know it. But I'm going to tell you those things which nobody will tell you. So see this one? Our solar system, everybody is very, very familiar with that. But if you see that the earliest documented mention of spherical Earth, it was in 5th century BC, not before that. Before that, it was a flat Earth thing that people believed. And if you talk about a spherical Earth, you will be stoned to death. But if you take the very name of Earth in Sanskrit, and everybody believes that Sanskrit is like 10, 15,000 years old, so it's much more older than 5 BC, right? So 5th century BC. So the very name of Sanskrit for Earth is Bhugol. Bhu means earth, Gol means round. So by the very nomenclature itself, we know that maybe like 10,000 years back that Earth is round. And even we know that the second name for Earth is Jagat. That means which has movement, it moves. And we know that Earth is not stationary. So we still think that our ancestors are so dumb and they don't know anything. So let me think about one more thing. Sanskrit name for solar system. It's Surya Mallika. Surya means sun. Mallika means a garland. Where do you wear your garland? Around your neck, right? So we know that it is heliocentric theory way back. Nobody can even imagine. So this is moon, right? Everybody loves moon. So when you see a moon, at a bright moon, at a full moon day, what do you see? A white moon, right? But if you go through Atharva Veda, there is a sloka in Atharva Veda. It says, Chandram Madi Krishnam. So Chandram means moon, Madi means soil, Krishnam means black. So our ancestors, without even going there, they know that the soil on soil on moon is black. We found out in 1960s when Neil Armstrong went there, we took some samples from there and we came back to Earth, and then we were able to see that it's really black. How can they know at that time? Do you think it's just coincidence or an insight? This has a very, very long link with yoga. When you listen to Sadhguru, he says that once you close your eyes and you meditate, you can extend yourself to anything, right from this room to the cosmics. So that really works, but we need to know how. So this is very famous architecture. If you go to any Hindu temple, you'll find this one. Sorry, I'll go back. You'll see this. Do you know what is this? Navagraha. So if you go to any temple, take like 1,000 years, 2,000 years back temple, the sun will be placed in the center, and you have 9 deities, which are like 9 planets, which we call, that will be surrounding the sun. So we know that it is a heliocentric theory, and we know the positions of those planets, which is like dated back 5,000-7,000 years back, and we just only know when the Copernican revolution came back, because we just believe West. Unless until there isn't recorded proof, we don't believe anything. But our historians, our ancestors wrote these things on rock, not even on paper. Still we don't believe them. So let's talk about speed of light, because we talked about astronomy. Let's talk about physics too. So this is speed of light. You can see the modern value, which is on top of the slide. And in Rig Veda, there is a sloka. I don't want to read through, but if you decode that, sun rays travel 2,202 yojanas in half a nimisha. So I'll give you the logic. Nimisha means the time you take to blink, just one blink. That is one nimisha. And yojana is roughly about 8 to 9 miles, which is a huge debate. But even if you consider it's 8 to 9 miles, and if you just use that formula, it gives you almost identical value of the speed of light. Everybody knows when was Rig Veda written. We have recorded proof for that. And how can they know at that time that speed of light is that? We came to know the speed of light only in the last maybe 200, 300 years, to be very specific, right? Let's see this. This is known as Mizar and Alcar, and it's all a twin star system that we know. So in any traditional Hindu marriage, if you see in South India in particular, after the marriage, the priest will ask the bride and bridegroom to go out, and the bridegroom will show bride this star, which is known as Arundhati. So there's a ritual in every Hindu marriage that happens. So in Indian astronomy, Mizar was known as Vasishtha, one of the Saptarishis that you can see in the Saptarishik Mandalam, and his wife is Arundhati. So how can they know that those are a twin star system, and a husband and wife relation should be like that? One cannot coexist without another. They have to be in tandem so that they can live. Do you think even this is just an imagination or some hoax? But it is true, right? They know it. And let me come back to metallurgy, chemistry, engineering, right? So even I'm an engineering graduate before I did my MBA. So this is the iron pillar that you can see near Qutub Minar in Delhi. And if you see it and you touch and feel it, it's iron. Everybody knows that, and everybody believes that. And it is rust proof. Even by today's technology, there is no rust proof iron ever made by humans. At least we know. But there is one pillar standing at the heart of our own capital, which is rust proof and is standing there for hundreds of years. And still we doubt the engineering capabilities of our ancestors. And if you see, there is Sanskrit inscriptions on that. So it clearly says that it is old, very old. No, we don't use Sanskrit these days, right? So let's see the modern value of pi. So everybody knows pi and the importance of pi, so I will not go into those details. As in India, we are so much fond because every other religion has only one god, so they don't have any problem. But in India, we have in Hinduism, we have about 3 crore gods. Yes, actually we have 3 crore gods. So famous ones are like Krishna, Rama, right? So this one sloka that is written in the praise of Lord Krishna. So you must know a few things before you can just go through it. Every language has consonants, vowels, so that's Sanskrit. So in Sanskrit, every consonant is associated with a numerical value. You can see that on the top corner of the slide. So if you just decode this particular sloka, each Sanskrit consonant should be replaced, then it will give you the value of pi till 31 decimal places. Is this also a mere hoax, or it's just a coincidence? People doesn't know it. If you go through it, then you'll believe it, that it is an encoded value of pi in beautiful praising sloka to Krishna. And this is what my landing page was. I have to come to this because if you see the Kailasa temple, we are so proud of, because I belong to cloud and DevOps, so the IoTs, the Boston networks, the robotics, what we say, even if you go to Boston Dynamics in YouTube, you can see that one robot is helping another robot to escape the lab. So the artificial intelligence came to a level where we think ourselves as so supreme, and we are living in an age which we call as most advanced. This will just pour waters on your thoughts. So if you're planning something, and if you're trying to carve out rocks from top to bottom, you need to think of so many things. They thought of bridges. They have a rainwater harvesting because we don't have that in our cities. In Hyderabad, if you see, for the last 2 days, rivers came into our own homes. They had that in that particular temple, and they had a proper drainage system. And archaeologists confirm now that there's about 40 tons of rock. It's been scooped out, and even by modern standards, if you try to do that, it'll take about 400 to 600 years. You know what? That was built in 18 years. How come they do that? They do have some advanced technologies that we don't know, or we think because we are so much advanced in engineering, and we think that what our ancestors gave us is traditions. We just deny them because of our lethargicness, or we don't agree because we don't have proofs. We do have proofs, but the only thing is we don't have the way of thinking. We never research, we are so lucky to be in the age where you can go Google, you can learn. But previously, if you have to learn something, either it must be a book or it must be through your father, mother, or teacher. There is no other way. But now you can learn from internet at any time at your ease. It's up to us how we actually get the knowledge. So one more thing. So there is Srasrang temple in Cambodia. So it is a recent excavation that happened in Cambodia, where the archaeologists find these type of turtles which had an opening at the top. So one had a rectangular opening, and one had a triangle opening. When they opened it, do you know what they found inside? They found silica gel. They found neatly polished quartz crystals. They found thin bronze wires, and they found 3-pronged antenna and some weird geometric patterns which you can see in that block that I have given. So when they opened the first one, they were able to find the silica gel and the crystals. And when they opened the second turtle, they were able to find bronze wires. So what is fascinating in that? The first thing is, bronze is not a metal, it's an alloy. So 1,000 years back, even we don't know what is a metal, they know what is alloys. And second part, they know the use of quartz crystals. When we started, modern day communication started with telephone and all those things, quartz was first used in communications. So they know that quartz can be used for communication. And if you see, there's a weird geometric pattern that was on top of that particular big stone. So that was actually a broken naga. I will show you in the next slide. So if you see, this is a naga, the 7-headed serpent that most of the Cambodians and even the Hindu culture will worship. Why this is so important means, on the on that side, you can see a piano notes what I have given. So these are known as frequency diagrams. So these days, using modern technology, you can convert any song. When you play a song in your Winamp or like Windows Media Player or your any other media player, you can change the visualizations, right? What is that visualization does actually? It changes the song into visual representation. So any sound that we have, we can definitely change and save that as a visual pattern. So these are nothing but the visual patterns that they had. This geometric, weird looking geometric patterns that you see is nothing but a tuned frequency. Why? Where would you find everything which is so connected for a perfect communication device? All you just need is a frequency, even that is encoded. So you just need for a signal to come. Everything found in one single temple complex. So that brings to the end of our talk, where we must think whether our ancestors are really right or wrong, or are we think that we are so much advanced in like science, medicine, metallurgy and all those things, still we are so primitive. We call them primitive, but we are much more primitive, because what all I shown till now for you can never be replicated by any human being with any technology till date. So our customs and traditions, which are passed to us by our ancestors, which we debate every day with our fathers, mothers, grandparents, does this really make sense? Because one of the speakers was saying, because their fathers and forefathers gave to them, and they gave to us. So we must believe in our traditions. But we must also look for the answers, why these traditions came in first place. We are living in a COVID situation, and now we see our Indian prime ministers or the defense ministers, whenever they go out, they proudly say namaste. They are not giving hands because of the COVID reasons, right? Even Donald Trump using that for his campaigning. So we do have some pretty logic behind, a scientifically proven logic behind every custom that we have in India. It's just not Hinduism, but in any religion, we have so many things, but we don't just accept that. You can debate, but we should respect and live in harmony. We will respect and live in harmony only when we try to find what exactly they are trying to say. If you don't think in that manner, then we cannot live in peace. We cannot achieve global peace, to be very specific. Thank you.